Okay, next little thing you have to do for your basic numbers are you have to be able to multiply. All right, so yeah, again, you have been multiplying for years. It's just when you get it on a maths paper, it seems a bit strange. So in terms of multiplying, you would have known the letter X meant to multiply. Multiplying is also represented by brackets and a dot, right, between numbers. So in terms of your maths, though, brackets mean multiply. So in terms of your multiplying, you can have two sort of sets of multiplication. You can either have a number outside a bracket, and the bracket will contain lots of sums, letters and stuff, okay? So in terms of that, if you have a number directly in front of a bracket, it means multiply. And what you do is you multiply everything in the bracket by the number. In terms of that, there's some silly rules. If the numbers and letters you are multiplying both are positive, so if you have a plus times a plus, your answer will be positive. It will be also a plus. If you have a minus number times a minus number, the answer is a plus. So minus by minus give you a plus if you're multiplying. If you're adding and subtracting, so if there's no brackets involved, it stays as we did last time. But if you're multiplying, a minus times a minus changes to a plus. If you have a minus times a plus, you get a minus. If you have a plus times a minus, you get a minus. So basically, if you are multiplying and you have an odd number of minuses, your answer will be minus. If you have an even number of minuses, your answer will be positive. So here's some examples. Right? So here we have 5 bracket 3x plus 2y. So the 5 is directly in front of the bracket. There's no plus sign, there's no minus sign in between this 5 and the bracket. So it means the 5 is multiplying everything in the bracket. So when you're multiplying, you go 5 times your 3, which gives you 15, and you just write your x down. All right, so you multiply numbers by numbers, letters by letters. But this 5 is also multiplying my plus 2y. So my 5 by plus 2 gives me plus 10, and it's y. Okay, the second one, I have plus 5 times 6x minus 2y, and the 6x minus 2y are in the brackets, and there's no sign between the 5 and the bracket. There is a sign in front of the 5, but there's no sign between them, so it's multiplied. So you go 5 by 6, which gives you 30x, and 5 by minus 2 gives you minus 10y. Okay, this one, it looks like there should be something here, but I just put a bigger gap. Right, so there's no sign, so we go 3 times minus 2y, which gives you minus 6y, 3 times plus 4x, which gives you 12x, and 3 times plus 1 gives you plus 3. Okay, this one, again, nothing between. So we've got 3 bracket 2x minus 2, so this 3 is multiplying this bracket. But then I have a plus 6 and a bracket. So this plus means that this bracket has nothing to do with that bracket, okay? This bracket is just being multiplied by the 6. So it's like you've got two little separate sums. So you'd have 3 times 2x, which will give you 6x, 3 times minus 2, which gives you minus 6, and then plus 6 times 5y, which gives you 30y, and then plus 6 times minus 1 will give you minus 6, and then you tidy it up. So in terms of tidying it up, you can only do the stuff with one letter each. So this is just adding and subtracting. So in terms of my x's, I've only one thing with x's, so I just have 6x. In terms of my numbers on their own, I have a minus 6 and a minus 6. So the sign's the same, so I keep the sign and I add them, so I get minus 12. And then my y's, I have no other y's, so I get 30y. Okay, so that's that one. This one, I've got a 2x outside the bracket. So this x does not mean multiply because the bracket means multiply. So it's saying 2x times the stuff in the bracket. So when you multiply an x by an x, you get an x squared. So 2x by x will give you 2x squared. So for these ones, I multiplied the number by the number and I got it to change, right? Where this, the number is 2. The number that would be here is 1. So 2 times 1 would have given me 2. But x times x will give me x to the power of 2, or x squared. And then this one, so we've got 2x by 1, which will just give me 2x. This one, x, again, is in front of a bracket, so it's being multiplied. So I have x by x, which gives me x squared, and x by 5, which gives me 5x. And this one, x by x is x squared, and x by y. This time I can mix numbers because I'm multiplying. So x by y will give me a new term, which is called x, y. Okay, and that is the easy version of multiplying. Then we just quickly move on. The next step for multiplying is when you get two sets of brackets and they are not separated by anything. So you have a bracket with stuff in it and a bracket with stuff in it, and there is no plus or minus sign between the brackets. That means that the first bracket is going to multiply the second bracket. So how you do that is you take the first bracket and you imagine splitting it. Right, so if we split it down the middle there, and you're splitting it in front of the sign for the second half, right? And then what you do is you multiply the first part of the first bracket by everything in the second bracket. So we've got 5x times 3x minus 1, and then we will have plus 2 times 3x minus 1. All right, so when you multiply it out, 5x by 3x, the number by the number gives me 15. The x by the x gives me x squared. 5x by minus 1, so 5 times minus 1 will give me minus 5, and the x just gets written down. Then you move on to the second bracket. So the second bracket has nothing to do with the first bracket anymore. So we go plus 2 times 3x, which gives me 6x, and plus 2 times minus 1 will give me minus 2, and then you tidy it up. So we have 15 x squared, we have a minus 5x and a plus 6x, so signs are different. Keep the sign of the bigger one, so I'm keeping the plus sign, and subtract. So 6x take away 5x will just give me 1x, and my minus 2 stays the same. Okay, same with this one. I have two sets of brackets. There's parts in both bracket, so I imagine splitting the bracket, and you split it before the sign of the second. Rewrite it out if you want to, so you can go 3 times 2x minus 2 and plus y times 2x minus 2. All right, so again, you're multiplying it out. 3 times 2 will give me 6, and I get a 6x. 3 times minus 2 gives me a minus 6. Y times 2x gives me 2xy or 2yx, it doesn't matter. And y times minus 2 gives me minus 2y. In terms of tidying this one up, I can't tidy it up because these are x's, these are numbers, these are xy's, and these are y's. So they're all different sort of terms, so you can't group them together. Final one of my example, I have 5x minus 2 in a bracket, another bracket. There's no sign in between, so the first bracket is multiplying the second bracket. So again, imagine splitting the first bracket in front of the sign, right? And then you get 5x times x minus 6 minus 2 times x minus 6. Multiply it out, so you go 5x by x, which will give you 5x squared. 5x by minus 6 will give you minus 30x. Minus 2 by x will give you minus 2x. And minus 2 by minus 6. So we've got a minus multiplied by a minus, so that changes and becomes a plus. And 2 by 6 gives you 12. So make sure you note that you are multiplying by a minus, right? So the minus by a minus will give you the plus. So minus by minus gives you a plus. Okay, and then in terms of this one, can we tidy it up? We can, because we have x's and x's, right? So when we're tidying it up, we get 5x squared. Minus and a minus, so the signs are the same, so you keep the sign and you add, so you get 32x, and then my plus 12 is just left as plus 12, okay? And that's that done.